Hi. So we have gone through the first step of our research work, that is formulation of the problem. So what we have discussed is that very wisely we need to choose the problem for your research work. To be more simpler, you should be very specific, very clear while selecting what you want to do under your research. Now once you have selected that what you want to do, you write down the title, you set out the objectives, that how you will achieve your research, and then the second step comes. So this is the second step while doing your research work, that is also called as hypothesis. We will go through the term hypothesis. We will discuss the various cases of hypothesis. We will even learn how to handle and to intentionally put the conditions so that our research work may go in the smooth process. So this lecture is related to the assumptions that you want to set while doing your research work. I repeat, this part is related to the assumptions that you want to do while conducting your research work. So at the end, we need to comment on the statement of our assumption, or we can say hypothesis, that either the statement you have selected is similar to the outcome, or your outcome is not matching with the statement that you framed at the time of hypothesis. So we will learn over here now related to the hypothesis. We will start. So as we have discussed, we will learn about hypothesis, we will understand the criteria for it, we will know the characteristic of good hypothesis, we will study the types of hypothesis, the concept for testing it, and the procedure for testing your hypothesis. First, we should know what hypothesis means. It is a guess about your research work. When you conduct your research, what you will get once it is completed. It is a tentative statement asserting a relationship between certain facts and variables. So it is a tentative statement. Tentative statement about something, the validity of which is usually unknown. Example, is distance and time related to speed? So over here, distance, time and speed, there are three variables. So we need to frame the statement related to these variables, and at last we check it. This statement is intended to be tested empirically and is either verified or rejected. When you write any statement related to the assumption of the work you want to do, related to the outcome that you can achieve once your research work is completed, you need to check either it is accepted or rejected at the end of your work. It contains variables that are measurable and specific how they are related. Now, criteria for hypothesis construction. Whenever you want to put the assumptions, or whenever you want to say that what you will get at the end of your research work, probable outcomes, these are the criteria that you should keep in mind. It is never formed in a form of question like, is speed related to the distance? No, this is wrong way. You need to put a proper statement. Speed is inversely proportional to the distance. Distance is inversely or directly proportional to the speed. This is a statement. It should be empirically testable. It means that whatever work you are doing, that should be based on the facts, theoretical formulas, and that can be checked practically also. So it should be empirically testable. It should be specific and precise. You should be very well clear and known about the variables and what you want to find out of that variables. It should not be self-contradictory. It should define clearly all variables or the components or parameters that will be included in your research. One hypothesis should describe only one issue. If you are doing a particular research work, may be related to the accidental study for traffic. Each of your hypotheses should describe only one issue, like the smoothness of the road and number of accident. So one hypothesis will be related to it. Second can be comparison between rigid pavement and flexible pavement. That means the concrete road and bitumen road. That the second hypothesis will be related to it. Third, the speed and the characteristic of a person who is driving the vehicle. So third hypothesis will be related to it. So depending upon your research work, you need to describe hypothetical statement for each of the case. Characteristics of good hypothesis. How can we judge that whatever assumptions we have selected already are good or not? It should be conceptually very clear. It should be testable. It should be available. There should be availability of the techniques to conduct it. It should maintain the consistency of work. It should be based on the objective. Yes, it is very important that once you have decided your title, you have selected the various parts that will be included to achieve your title. You should frame your hypotheses or the statements or the assumptions depending upon your objective. It should be simple. It should have theoretical relevance. It means that again, your hypotheses, assumptions should be based on previous research or facts. It should not be imaginary. Types of hypotheses. Now we will discuss one by one the various types of hypotheses. First, null hypothesis, which is represented by H suffix O. Suppose we compare two methods or two simulations and the output is same. We say that both methods are equally good. Then this assumption is called as null hypothesis. Again I repeat, when you compare the two methods and you get the result of both the method positive, similar, and then you comment that both are good. At that time we say that it is a null hypothesis. But if the same result do not support methods equally, then we called it as alternative hypothesis. Again I repeat, when we compare two methods under our research work and the methods give the similar result, we say that these methods are giving equal results and then we say it is a null hypothetical statement. But if your research methods does not give you the similar results, then you say alternative hypothesis. Now further, alternative hypothesis can be stated in the various forms, such as result are not same. Now if there are two methods A and B, we just say that results are not same. Okay? Or it can be accuracy of method A is greater than B. Now we are becoming very specific. Accuracy of method A is greater than B. Or it can be accuracy of method A is less than B. So if there is an alternative case, then there can be further three conditions. Results are not same, but we don't know which is greater, which one is more perfect, which one is giving more accurate answer, but we know that results are not same. Or one method is better than another. So alternative hypothesis is represented by HA. So we have discussed null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Now points to remember. Null or alternative hypotheses are chosen before the sample is drawn. What is sample? When you start your experimentation work, you need to perform it on something. That particular group of people or say material or say organization is called as a sample. So before selecting your sample, you should frame your hypothesis statement. Again I repeat, before selecting or starting your experimental work, you should describe what will be the probable outcome. While choosing the null hypothesis, which is to be disapproved, and alternative is such which needs to be proved. Null hypothesis should always be specific and not approximate. The study of the hypothesis testing is done by considering null hypothesis as if it is true. Then one can assign the probability to different possible sample result. Again, I will explain it. While choosing null hypothesis, you should choose null hypothesis such that you want to disapprove. Like if you want to determine the age of a building without doing the laboratory work, but by non-destructive testing. From non-destructive testing, you have chosen two equipments that will give you the strength, compressive strength of the structure. Suppose method A and method B is there. So your null hypothesis will say that the compressive strength gained by method A and method B are same. So this is one of the statement, null statement. It should be so precisely chosen that at the last moment we should disapprove it, and alternatively we can say that yes, method B is giving better result as compared to method A. The study of the hypothesis testing is done by considering the null hypothesis as if it is true initially. Then one can assign the probability to different possibility sample result. Concept of hypothesis testing. Set rules before you test hypothesis. Of course, this I will explain you with the help of example. We have considered two hypothetical statements, statement A and statement B. Statement A says this, all fruits are spoiled, and statement B says that some fruits are good. So to decide which hypothetical statement is true, one need to fix up the meaning of spoil. What actually you want to say by defining it as a spoil? Number of the sample and method of the sample collection. So to what percentage if the fruit is not proper, to what extent the fruit is old, you say to what extent that the fruit has lost its contents, important contents like vitamins and etc. You will define it as spoiled. Until and unless you define what exactly spoiled means in your case, how can you justify statement A or statement B? On the basis if the statement A is null hypothesis and is not true, we go for alternative hypothesis. It means that if all fruits are spoiled is not correct, then we go to the alternative hypothesis. It means that some fruits are good. So some fruits are good again says that statement A is not equal to statement B, but statement A is more accurate than statement B, or statement B is more accurate than statement A is not commented. This method of selection is known as decision rule. Now other method, two-tailed and one-tailed test. Two-tailed means significantly higher or lower value as compared to the hypothesized value, whether greater or smaller. We will consider two ends, the smaller value and the higher value, and then we will compare our results. One-tailed, we say the results are not equal. Either it is greater, or in other case we say the results are less than what was expected. So one-tailed. Procedure for hypothesis testing: making a formal statement of null hypothesis, selecting a significant label, deciding the sample distribution to use, then we go for random sampling, probability calculation, and comparing probability. So while discussing about the sampling, the process of sampling, we will come through the various points and it will make you clear that how these steps can be formulated. Okay. So parametric test and the standard test, there are two tests available for the testing of hypothesis. One is called as parametric test and another is called as non-parametric test. So parametric test, further there are various methods available in parametric test like Z, T, F test, X square test, and it is based on normal distribution curve. Non-parametric test is consisting of that is related to the free test of the hypothesis. It is based on the original data and more focused on the observation. So here we have discussed that what hypothesis means. We have discussed that what are the various types of hypotheses. We have discussed how to set your hypothesis and even how you can check your hypothesis. So we will stop over here. Thank you.